Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marshayla. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave any comments down below that you may have. Alright y'all, so I know it's been a minute since I have been on camera. I have been posting like little get readies with me and stuff, but I haven't actually sat down and talked to you guys or did any vlogs or anything like that. So I just want to come on and give you guys an update. I'm just ready to get back into the groove of things, sharing my testimonies, maybe doing vlogging still. I haven't really been doing much. It's just like, I don't know, like the weather is wintertime. Well, it's spring now, but in the wintertime, it's just like, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't really feel encouraged and motivated and stuff. So anyways, I do have big news. If you have not seen already on any of my other platforms, I do have a baby. He's 5 months old, and that's really what I've just been doing with my time lately. Just taking care of my baby, just enjoying him, watching him grow, and just seeing how fast he learns things. And he's just curious and so smart, like just taking it all in. So I'm just so grateful. If you watched my previous video about my situation when I was pregnant before and what happened with that, you can go back to that video and listen to that testimony, and you'll see why my baby is such a miracle baby to me. And God just really stepped in and just blessed me beyond what I could even imagine. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. And I've been being blessed, really. Like, God has been doing miraculous things in my life. I'm gonna share a lot of testimonies with you guys, just different things that God has been doing for me. But in this video, I do see that you guys, like, a lot of people are still watching my video where that I posted about God blessing me with a new car. So I have another new car. Last year, June, I want to say, God blessed me with another new car. I had a situation and I lost my job. I was like making really, really good money on that job, and I just wasn't saving the way I was supposed to save, and just spending, like, oh, I'm gonna get it back, and but so I ended up losing that job, and so I ended up losing my car. It is what it is. It happens. So I ended up losing my car. I did end up getting another job, but that job was not paying me literally half of what I was getting paid at my last job, and I was getting paid every 2 weeks. So it was just like just a huge loss for me losing that job. But everything happens for a reason, and even with that job that I had, I missed my appointment. So you had to do like a physical and everything. So I missed my appointment. I had like the time mixed up. I went that day, but my appointment was earlier. So they were like, oh, once you miss the appointment, you basically forfeit the job. There's no coming back. Like, you have to reapply again and all this and that. So I'm just like, wow, like, I'm trying. And at this point, I still have my car. So at this, I'm just like, I'm trying, like, why is this happening? Like, I got the job and everything. I went through the whole process, and yeah. So long story short, I was in a car. I called my mom and I was telling her about what happened. I'm just like, Mom, they're telling me that I forfeit the job because I came late to my appointment, and that's it. So my mom prayed with me and stuff, and God just let me know some things. And listen, y'all, let me tell you, like, this is just how good God is. Like, regardless of the way things may be going in the process or how things may look like, when God has something for you, he's literally going to show up and show out. So I got off the phone with my mom, and after we were done praying and stuff, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Maybe it just wasn't for me. So I let it go. I moved forward with my day. So I was heading to the store, and I was just pulling up to the store. I was about to get out my car, and I get a call from this like weird number. I ended up answering it. So it was one of the recruiters from the job, and he was like, hey, yeah, I'm just calling you to see what happened earlier. And I explained the situation. I was like, it was a complete misunderstanding. It's not that I didn't go. I just, had the times mixed up. So he was like, well, we've never done this before. Like, it's just, I don't even know. My boss just told me to give you another chance. And he was like, we never do this. Like, I was just blown away. But he told us to call you and tell you to go in for, go get another physical. Don't miss this one. Make sure that you're there on time. And so I'm just like, what? Like, I was blown away. He was blown away that his, manager was even willing to do that. And I'm just like, wow. So I made sure I was there and everything, and I got the job. So when I got to the job, the lady, the supervisor there, she was like, what's your name? Like, I'm giving her my information. She was just like, I thought they said that, you forfeit the job and stuff. And I was like, yeah, they did. But they ended up calling me and told me that I can, I can do it again, do the physical process over. And she was like, what? They've never done that before. And I was like, yeah. She was like, wow, that's very random. Like, she was like, let me just call them and double check. Basically, like, she didn't believe me. It's just like, why would I show up to a job? You have all my information and stuff. So she called them and they confirmed, and she was just like, wow, like, I can't believe that. Like, wow. But that's what I'm saying to you guys. Like, when something is for you, it's for you. No matter what the situation is, no matter what answer you may get in the beginning, or however it may play out. Like, when God has something for you, it's for you. So yeah, I didn't even plan on talking about this. Like, I don't even know, but this is where God is leading me, so I'm gonna follow. So I ended up getting the job, worked the job or whatever. I believe I started that job, I want to say like, I don't know. It's been, because it's been like 2 years now. Like, that's how I feel. Geez, time be flying. But anyway, so I started the job, I want to say like around springtime. And so I was only there for maybe like 5 or 6 months. So the whole time I was on that job, I just wasn't making enough money. I was trying to pay my rent, just trying to pay all my bills and everything just started piling up on me. Now, like I said, I played a part in that too. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, it's the devil, and like, he's just trying to get to me. But we have to realize what part we play in situations as well. So like I said, like, I was making all this money and I just wasn't saving the way that I was supposed to save. So when a situation came up where I lost my job, I just wasn't financially prepared for that. So I was just paying my bills with what I could and with what I had. So long story short, I worked that job, and that whole time I was on that job, like, I did not like that job. I was doing, like, making appointments for doctor's appointments for people. I was working in a gynecologist, so I was doing that, and I'm just like, I do not like this job. It was so boring. Like, it was so much downtime. And when I tell you I had so much downtime, like, during that time, they gave us the notepad when we first started that job. I used that notepad for prayers. I started writing in that book every day I was at work. When I had downtime, I was praying and just asking God to remove me from that job. Like, Lord, bless me with something better. Like, I'm grateful for you putting me here in this moment, but I need something better. I need to be making more money. So I left that job in October, and I went back to my old job, not the one that that job that ended. It was a case, so that ended. It was the job that I had previous before that. I went back to that job. Now I left that job on a good note. Like, I put my 2 weeks in, I wrote a letter and all of that. So they hired me back. And when I tell you, when I got back to that job, like, I was making good money. I still work there, making good money, just like grinding, working so many hours. Like, every time they call, can you work? Yes, I can work. So by this time I had lost my car. I was at my other job, the one that I was only there for 5 months. I had lost my job during that process. So I was driving one of my mom's cars, and I'm so grateful for my mom. Like, she just always shows up for me, always supports me, always there for me. Like, I'm just so grateful for her. Like, she's just such a blessing over my life. And yeah, I just can't thank her enough. I know she's gonna be watching this, so thank you so much, Mom. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm just so grateful for you. So I was driving one of my mom's cars, and so let me see. I drove her car from, I think my mom gave me her car at maybe around August. I believe it was like August. I got my mom's car. I drove her car up until, I want to say maybe April of that next year. Yeah, like around April of that next year, because I found out that I was pregnant February of last year. So I stopped driving her car around April of last year. So in the midst of that, God was just blessing me, like just opening up doors for me, like regardless of the fact that, you know, I didn't have my own vehicle, I still had a vehicle. And my mom's car went down, so I had to give her car back. So during that time, my boyfriend was taking me to work. I was Ubering and everything, and I'm just like, Lord, like, I cannot do this. Like, yeah, my boyfriend was taking me to work and picking me up sometimes, but you know, he has his own job, he does his own thing, so I can't always, you know, just depend on him to just drop what he's doing to pick me up. So I will Uber a lot of times, and I'm literally like 10 minutes away from my job, so I'm just like, $20 to Uber 10 minutes away there and back, that's $40 a day. Like, people who Uber and Lyft, listen, my hat is off to you guys, because that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. And I'm just like, this is just too much. So, you know, I'm just praying and I'm praying. I'm just like, Lord, like, I need another car. Like, I need you to do what you did before and better. I'm telling the Lord what I want, what I need. And at this point, I'm just looking at cars, and I'm just like, Lord, whatever you see fit, like, open up the doors. Like, you know, now I have this repo on my credit, and back in 2015, I had a repo before, so now I have 2 repos on my credit. So I'm just like, Lord, I don't know how this is gonna work, what you gonna do, but just do something, because I know that with you, any and everything is possible. So, Lord and behold, I went and I looked for a car, and so I went to this one place, and they were just like, oh yeah, you know, if you have a down payment, we can get you in this car. So I had the down payment. I'm like, all right, cool. So then they called me like, oh yeah, you know, we see that you have 2 repos, but if you pay one of them off, if you pay them, I think like $1,200, then, you know, we can get that off your credit. We can get you in another car. So I'm just like, I don't have $1,200 to pay them and a down payment to give you guys. Like, that's just insane. Like, I'm not doing that. So it was like a cute little truck and everything, and I'm just like, you know, I have a baby on the way. I would like to have like a, you know, a big car or like a nice size truck. So I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna stress that. I'm not gonna worry about it, and I'm just gonna leave it in God's hand. Now that's another thing. Like, I'm a worry warrior. Like, I used to be. I'm no longer like that. I used to worry a lot. I used to worry about so much stuff. I used to stress a lot, and just like my faith, it just was not there. And even though I knew, you know, God is real and he does things and in my life, and he has done a ton of things in my life, I just like was just always worrying about things, or how things are going to happen. How is this going to happen? And, you know, I say that I have faith, but I'm not showing God that I have faith by worrying, so, or stressing about it. So I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna worry about it. I just left it alone. I'm like, you know, God has been doing too much in my life. He's been showing me way too much, and I'm just grateful. So I know that he's gonna work it out. He's gonna come through. So I left it alone. So I went to another dealership. My mom's friend was telling me, this is actually the dealership that I had my last car from. So I went back there, and my mom's friend was like, you know, let's just go up there and just look. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. So we went up there, and we were looking at cars and stuff. So the guy was like, you know, we can get you in the car and everything. And so I'm like, okay. And so he's like, yeah, we'll get you in something. So we went, because they have 2 lots. We went down the street, looked at the cars on there, and I was just looking at totally different cars for like just cheaper prices. I'm just like, no, I don't want nothing crazy expensive. I just need a car. Like, I'm about to have a baby, I have a job, like, I need a car. So the guy who I was working with, he called me like, oh yeah, he called me I think like 2 days later, because they were like, you know, checking the banks and all that stuff. So he called me like 2 days later, like, yeah, we can get you in another car. You know, we have the same car that you had before, just the newer year. So I'm just like, I don't want the same car that I had before. Like, I didn't even really like that car. I just got that car because I needed a car. That's what God saw fit for me at the time. So that's what I took. So he's just like, oh yeah, well, you know, we don't have anything else to offer you. If you can offer me a brand new car, a 2024, you can offer me something different. So I let it go, and I was just like, this is really stressing me out. So I called my mom, and I was telling her, and she's like, no, we are not about to go with that. Call his manager and talk to him. So I'm like, okay. So I called the manager, talked to him, and he was like, no, we can get you something different. You don't have to take that car. And I'm just like, well, the way this man is calling me, basically, like, it's either this car or no car at all. So he's like, no. He's like, come back up here, and, we'll see what we can do. So I go back up there that day, and he's like, so what is it that you really want? I was like, I don't have, a specific car that I have in mind that I want. I just want something nice, reliable. I prefer like a cute little truck, because I have a baby on the way and stuff. So he's just like, we just got this truck in yesterday, and I really think you'll like it. It's really nice, and it's low miles and stuff. Now, when they took my other car, because my other car, when I got it, had, I think, like 90 miles on it or something when I first got it. So by the time it got repoed, I think I had like maybe 40,000 miles on it. So this car that they pulled up had 45,000 miles on it. So, and it was a truck, like literally everything that I wanted and more, God blessed me with. And I'm just like, God, you literally just put me back where I left off, but in something better. And I was just like, the guy was like, just test driving and see if you like it and stuff like that. So we're test driving, and I'm like, I really like this car. I love this car. It's so nice. Like, it's still practically new and everything. My mom like, just, it's nice. Just don't get so excited. I don't want you to like get hurt or anything. Like, he said he gonna try. And I'm like, Mom, we getting excited. We gonna get this car. The same way my testimony before, when I pulled up to the car and I said, we leaving with this car, we leaving with this one too. She said, okay. So we went back up to the place and everything. So the guy, he got me approved for the car and stuff. And I was just like, I'm just so grateful, because God really just shows up. And when we ask for one thing, sometimes God has more for us. And that's why, I keep hearing this, and my mom tells me it too, like all the time, like, ask God for big things. Don't limit the things that God can do for you, because sometimes we feel like, oh, I'm not going to ask God for this because this might be too much, or I don't want to feel greedy, or I don't want to feel like, I'm just asking for too much. Like, ask God for big things, like, and he'll give it to you. As long as you believe, you trust in God, you have faith, and you know that with him, any and everything is possible. Ask him for big things. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's so much that's been happening in my life, and I'm just like, God, I thank you. Like, I've literally been out of work since the end of September. I have not even gone back to work yet. And God has just been in my life, just taking care of me, making sure my bills are paid and everything. And I'm just like, Lord, I thank you, because I know that it's nobody but God, and him just sending people in my life to just, be there for me and supporting me and helping me and stuff. And I'm just so grateful. Just so grateful. So I just want to share that with y'all. Like, don't limit God. Don't put a limit on God. Like, whatever it is that you want, like, trust in him. Like, I'm starting to get emotional, because it's just like, you have to have faith in God. Like, do not doubt him. Have faith that whatever it is that you ask for, he will do it. Whatever it is that you could just think of, like, God, I want this. God, I want that. Like, God literally did something so big in my life. Like, I was asking God for a certain amount of money. And at this time, like, I was just like really going through it financially, and I was just like praying, and every day I was just like, Lord, bless me with this amount of money. Bless me with this amount of money. Like, that same amount, I kept asking Lord, like, Lord, bless me with this amount of money. Bless me with this amount of money. And one day I was driving, I'm like, Lord, where's my money? I asked you for it. Like, I'm waiting for you to bless me with this money. Where is it? I'm not going to tell you how much. But just know, one day, it happened. It happened. I was blown away. Like, my mind was just blown. I couldn't believe it. But that's because I kept asking. I kept having faith, and I kept trusting in God that he was going to do it. And God told me, I was just like, Lord, send me my money. And, it's just like, people say, I keep hearing that too. And my mom told me this too. Like, put God to a test. Put him to a test. Like, Lord, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm going to wait for you to do this. I'm going to wait for you to do that. I'm going to wait for you to bless me with this, or take me here, take me there. Like, there is no limit on God. There is no limit on God. And I'm not the perfect Christian. You know, we all have our flaws. We all fall short. But at the end of the day, I know who I serve. I know who I pray to. I know who I trust. I know who my faith is in. And that's all that matters. Like, you know, so I just want to share that with y'all. Like I said, I didn't plan on talking about any of this. I just told God to lead me when I got on this camera to talk to y'all. And this is what he wanted me to share with y'all. So, you know, I just want y'all to, you know, keep having faith in God, keep trusting in him. And I've been reading this Jabez prayer book. I read it before, and it's an amazing book. I'll literally read it in like a day if I had the time, because it's not that long, but it's an amazing book. It's an amazing book, and there's so many testimonies in it, and it's just so powerful. And I've been reading that prayer every day, and just, you know, trusting in God to do some things. And if you feel like you want God to do something for you, like, just fast. I've been fasting, and, you know, just picking certain times of the day to fast, not doing social media, not watching TV, just, you know, blocking out things that distract me, and just focusing on God, just reading and praying, and, you know, just listening to gospel music, things to keep me inspired, keep me uplifted, because, you know, I am a new mom, and it can get hard sometimes, but, you know, I'm still here. I'm still going. God is still keeping me, keeping my baby, and I'm just so blessed. I'm so grateful. So, yeah, I just wanted to get on here and just update y'all. It's a lot of other things I'm going to talk to you guys about. This is just a little bit, but I have so much more to share with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for still being subscribed to me, and I just pray that, you know, if there's something that you want, something that you want God to do for you, comment down below. I'll pray for you, and, you know, we're going to stand in faith and believe that God is going to do it. So I'll be talking to you guys soon. I love you guys so much. Bye.